Good morning, everybody. It is 11 minutes past 7 o'clock right now, and time to spend a little time in your home and a little time in fixing up your home, Jackie.
Absolutely. We're going to talk concrete repairs. We want you to fix it, not feel like you have to replace it. And we're going to talk more about what we're talking about right there with Brad Argo, of course, Marketing Director with Midwest Basement Systems. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about fixing it instead of replacing it. That sounds a little bit more within my budget. What exactly are we talking about?
Yeah, well, concrete repair, exactly what you said. It's repairing it versus replacing that concrete, which is very disruptive.
Yes.
You're going to have to tear it all up. You're not going to be able to use it for a long time,
That's
obviously.
the waiting period is the hardest part.
And then haul all that weight away. That's pretty expensive as well. And then have to replace it, and there's a cost there as well. So, as an example, this weekend was a beautiful weekend.
Yes.
Went over to a friend's. We were doing some barbecue and said, hey, let's go shoot some hoops. So we're out there on the concrete pad, and we're shooting hoops, and there's cracks in there. It's a little unlevel, so you're dribbling the ball, so the ball's over there. And, it's like, hey, buddy, we do this concrete repair. Right?
You know what I do, right?
So you're celebrating and just kicking back and selling at the same time.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's like, guy, this stuff can be fixed. And it's a good example. We're outside more. We're utilizing those patios
and you might
sidewalks.
not know that things have shifted the way they had over the winter.
Correct. Yep. Exactly. So, you have that a little bit right now, those issues, and you're starting to go out and enjoy this space. So now's a good time maybe to look at, maybe we could replace this, or repair this. So that's exactly what we're talking about today. So the product we use is called PolyLevel.
PolyLevel.
Yeah. So it's a foam-based product that allows us to lift the concrete in sections to kind of bring it back to level, and then we can repair the cracks. So here's a little bit of video of the actual product. This is a little bit of what we do here. So a lot of the issues that we have, the reason why concrete fails is because that concrete is setting on soil that cannot no longer support it. So what we do is we actually inject this poly-based product underneath that slab to give it a new base that won't wash away with water. A lot of times in those control joints or in those cracks, you'll see that water can get in there and wash away the soil. So this is a little bit of the product. Now just kind of using a little bit of example of some plexiglass there, but we drill a hole about the size of a pea.
That really is a surprisingly small hole.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then we pump the poly product, right in those holes. First fills those big voids. But as it expands, we can lift concrete about 2,000 pounds per square foot.
That's a lot.
It is. That's, we can do grain bin slabs as well. Yeah. So it's just kind of showing a little bit of examples here. And this is a time lapse of us lifting those large slabs.
That looks like my garage.
Yeah.
Now, is that harmful at all to the ground or the soil?
It is not.
Okay.
It is a recyclable product.
Okay.
So if you were to later replace it, which you should not have to.
Oh my goodness, I can't get over how it pulls it up like that.
Yeah, and there's a big,
big
scoop that gets lifted up as well. So like I said, 2,000 pounds per square foot, we can move quite a bit. And there's also grain bin slabs. So if you have a tilted grain bin slab, we can go in there and inject the poly-based product to lift that back as well.
Right.
Otherwise, you have to bring a crane in, lift it up, replace it, or fix it somehow, and then drop it back down.
And I'm sure people have barns that have the same situation too, beside grain bins.
Any big concrete slab.
Yeah. That is really amazing.
So kind of a leveling process. So your friend that you're playing basketball with, you said there was a little bit of shifting, but just a lot of cracks. Is it going to help in those crack situations?
So yeah, we have two products, and unfortunately the video I didn't showed the other product, but it's called Nexus Pro, and it's essentially the sealer that goes in those cracks.
Okay.
Now does it do the same thing? Does it expand a little bit, or does it just seal it?
It doesn't. It's a lot like
silicone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's engineered to last for years and years and years. So the stuff you'd buy in a big box store usually will kind of dry up. You can see it maybe in parking lots or wherever it's kind of dried up. Not the stuff that we have.
Okay. Now, what's the downtime? You see it starts off in a liquid form, then it expands.
Yep.
What's the time it needs to cure or anything like that?
So believe it or not, once we're done, 15 minutes after we're done, you can drive on that.
So we're not waiting days.
No. Nope, 15 minutes. But no, if we do put the Nexus Pro in those cracks, we do like to say, let's give it 1 day before we drive over it, because we want to make sure that dries and it's on the surface.
Oh, and then you get tire tracks.
Yeah, you don't want to do any of that. And we do coat it with a little bit of sand, and it really just makes those cracks disappear.
Okay. Now, how is this different than what people are traditionally familiar with mud jacking? How's it different than mud jacking?
Yeah, the mud jacking, it's a grout and mud-based material. So you're drilling a bigger hole, first and foremost, and then you're lifting it. But the issue is the soil is usually the issue why your concrete's cracked and settling. So that soil can't hold that weight of the concrete. So now you're going to put more weight with that mud and grout.
Right.
So with the poly-based product, it packs the soil while it also lifts the concrete.
So it stabilizes both sides.
And it's waterproof. So mud jacking, that mud and grout, if there's still water getting in there, it could wash it out after a
Push it
while.
away.
The worst thing about mud jacking is that you can only lift it 1 time. So if it does settle, you can't go back and—
You're out of luck.
Because now you have a concrete slab with a whole mess of stuff underneath that's really, really heavy.
Like a filling underneath it, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So if something were to happen where the poly were to settle a little bit, we can go back in there and just relift it.
And like how you said, this polymer is made out of recycled materials as well.
Well, it can be recycled.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it
Perfect.
can be recycled in case you were to ever, like I said, replace, which you shouldn't have to, but just in case you would have to, you can recycle that material.
That's good to
This
hear.
is an amazing process. This really is very cool.
I geek out on this. I really do. I enjoy
Your eyes are lighting up when you're talking about
at
it.
home shows. I get asked a lot of questions about this stuff, and I do think it's neat just because people are looking at a large concrete part of their home. So maybe it's a patio or a sidewalk or a driveway, and they pull up in their car. They're just like bummed out because their driveway doesn't look good anymore. It's cracked, it's sinking, and they think the only thing they have is to replace it and have all that downtime and that cost. So to be able to educate people about this stuff, to say, hey, we can fix this. Give us a call. It's a totally free estimate for you, for us to come out there and take a look at it. And people are usually pretty amazed by the estimate that we give them.
An easy fix.
That's
I love that.
awesome.
And is now the time, because I know we had a really harsh winter and there's some roadways that were pretty bumpy for me for a while that are now starting to settle down. Is now the perfect time to look to see how things are laid out?
It's a perfect time.
Okay.
This is the time of year where we get a lot of phone calls about this because graduations are coming up.
True.
People want to spruce up their homes a little bit in the spring, and why not enjoy it all summer?
Right.
So this is a great time to go ahead and get on the books, get this repair done so you can enjoy the rest of the year on that.
Well, I like everything that you're saying here because there's an area, I have a patio in the back. They said, well, really, it's not worth doing anything to. And I think they were talking mud jacking years ago.
Yep.
I'm going to have you come out and take a look at the patio area and
Love to.
obviously the driveway that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
So
love to. And then I don't have any excuses when I'm dribbling the basketball. And the ball's
It's
going
all
over
you
here.
now.
Yeah, now it's all on me.
it's
Once
all
it's
you.
fixed.
Yeah,
All right,
practice some more.
Like you said, need to get on the books now so you can be taken care of and enjoy it all
Yep.
summer long. So how do we get on the books? How can we reach out to you guys?
Go ahead and give us a call, 289-1606, or give us, or go to the website at MidwestBasementSystems.com.
That works.
Perfect.
Yeah, we are going to check out your services, man. Good job, man.
Awesome.
Looking forward to
Thank
it.
you, Brett.
Thank you
Good to
very
see
much.
So much. It's 7.